your cells, because we have PCOS, don't have that 40-to-1 ratio of myo and D-chiroinositol that we need in order to be better at insulin sensitivity. We, as women with PCOS, we struggle with having enough omega-3, and this contributes to insulin sensitivity. And that's why these supplements that we talk about when it comes to Metabolism Plus or Ovasitol, that's why we talk about these, because they're kind of filling those nutrient gaps that make it so hard to change our diet sometimes.
Doctor said you got PCOS. Now go on, girl, just lose some weight. Till I took the symptoms into my own hands and reversed them naturally. So I became a dietitian to help my sisters feel the best they've ever felt. Take a step in my direction if you wanna prove them wrong and take control of yourself. Join a sister and a mister.
Oh man, this is just telling.
It's been quite a morning, sisters.
Another perfectly timed episode that was not intentional, but we're having a rough one today, as you can tell from my voice.
We are. As it turns out, our supplements are delayed a couple weeks yet again. And we just feel really bad because everyone's so excited to get these supplements at their door, and Santa's sleigh is delayed.
Yeah, Santa's sleigh broke down is how you can. I don't know. We're frustrated, and the sisters are frustrated.
It's not broke down. It's delayed.
Oh, delayed. Yeah.
Let's not be dramatic.
No, I know, of course.
Seriously, I'm over here like, okay, there's nothing I can do about it except profusely apologize.
Yeah. Well, to give a little background on what happened. So basically, when we launched, we did a pre-launch in September, and of course, we had as many ready as possible, but we sold out, and we got a lot of extra orders. And of course, we sent those people emails saying, hey, we're going to have it ready in November. Sorry for the delay. And of course, there's always an option to cancel. And for those who are still waiting, we're waiting for November. And then yesterday, I emailed the warehouse. I'm like, hey, guys, are we shipping it out today? And then I get this email that says, so I have some bad news for you. The curcumin supplier has been delayed. Therefore, as you know, Metabolism Plus is composed of 4 supplements. One of them is curcumin, and without it, we can't ship the whole thing out. So we had to delay it for 2 weeks.
And I mean, I will say it is coming from pretty far away. It's coming from France.
It's frustrating for us, of course, and we know how frustrating it is for the sisters who ordered it. Like, we totally understand that, like, for anyone who is, annoyed of the delay and things like that. So we just want to say, like, for everyone who ordered their Metabolism Plus, we completely understand. If we were in your shoes as well, we would be frustrated too. But just know that we're just as frustrated with the whole situation. It's just, like, completely out of our hands.
Let's all just sit back and watch Sirak handle this for us.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, for those waiting, we hope you keep waiting. If not, please email us and we'll definitely help you out. So with that being said, let's jump into the episode, which is...
Send it over.
Oh, you didn't get the episode doc, Tali?
No, babe.
Oh, come on.
We're going to talk about fatigue today and how stress can contribute to fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
And the cycle of needing coffee, more fatigue.
Yeah.
More coffee, more fatigue.
Let's turn it into a positive episode, because obviously you can see we're frustrated, but obviously at the end of the day, we're trying our best, and we just gotta go through and do our best to help as many sisters as possible. Right, Tali?
That's right.
Cool. All right. Let's just jump into the episode today. Does PCOS cause fatigue? Is the first question. That's the title of the episode. Does PCOS cause fatigue? You tell us, Tali. Does PCOS cause fatigue?
Having PCOS makes us more prone to symptoms of fatigue because of the hormonal imbalances happening. So a lot of times when you have PCOS, you have cortisol dysregulation. That's when your stress hormones are all dysregulated and high when they don't need to be and low when they don't need to be. And that contributes to you not being in a, energetic mood when you should be throughout the day. We should have natural energy. Why shouldn't we? We shouldn't depend on caffeine. our body should be able to generate energy, and that's metabolism, right? Metabolism is when your body's able to generate energy from the food you eat and from the way that you work out and so on, and the way that you move your body. And having fatigue has a lot to do with your metabolic function. And we always talk about weight loss. Sure, that's a result of improving metabolic function, but so is having more energy and not being as fatigued.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we look at the reasons women with PCOS feel fatigue, we created a list of 7, and we'll kind of go through each one. But just to kind of give you the 7 right now, and then before we go through them, number 1 is irregular sleeping patterns, underactive thyroid, iron deficiency anemia. Number 4 is low vitamin B12 or vitamin D. Number 5 is insulin resistance. Number 6 is PCOS medications, and number 7 is depression. And starting with the first one, irregular sleeping patterns, obviously makes sense. If you're not sleeping enough or properly, you're going to feel tired. That means, like your circadian rhythm, meaning your cortisol hormone and your melatonin hormone is going to be off sync. So that's going to cause you to be tired throughout the day. And then the next one is underactive thyroid.
Yes.
Break that down for us.
When you have hypothyroid, which is one of the PCOS types, it looks like if you have only hypothyroid, you have a lot of symptoms similar to PCOS. Often people have PCOS and hypothyroid together. That's not very uncommon. And your thyroid controls your metabolism and the way your body produces energy. So if it's hypoactive and it's not working properly, then not only are you going to lose weight slower or not at all, but also you'll feel fatigued because you're not able to create energy for your body.
Yeah.
And then the third reason why women with PCOS get fatigue is because of iron deficiency anemia, which seems to be very common. A lot of times when we're sensitive to foods like gluten, it can inhibit our ability to absorb nutrients like iron. Yeah. So that's definitely something to consider if you struggle with iron deficiency anemia. See if when you cut out gluten, that helps.
Yes, and related to number 3 is number 4, which is having low vitamin B12 or vitamin D, both of which deficiencies have been linked to chronic fatigue. So get your labs checked, make sure that you are, good on all your vitamins, iron, B12, vitamin D, basically everything. And then next one is insulin resistance.
Insulin resistance is basically when your metabolism isn't working properly. And again, you're not creating that energy for your cells. Your cells should be communicating with insulin. Insulin should be giving our cells, the sugar that's broken down from the food that we eat so that our cells can burn it up and use it for energy and, so we don't gain weight. And when we're insulin resistant and our cells can't communicate with insulin, then we end up gaining weight in the midsection. We aren't metabolizing what we're eating very well. Insulin remains high. We get cravings and fatigue, and the list goes on. So if you ever feel like after a meal, you just need a nap, it may have been too high in carbs and you may have insulin resistance, and good old Ovasitol can come in here and help. Did you hear about that sister who took Ovasitol and finally got her period after a year of not having one?
Incredible. I see those kinds of messages on Instagram a lot. How does that even happen?
Well, Ovasitol helps with healing insulin resistance, a common root issue that most PCOS sisters have. And by targeting insulin resistance, we're seeing sisters kick those crazy cravings, finally regulate their periods, ovulate, and improve their egg quality. Each packet of Ovasitol has a 40-to-1 ratio of myo-inositol and D-chiroinositol. This ratio is similar to the ratio that should be found in the body, but with women like me who have PCOS, this ratio is often imbalanced. So taking Ovasitol can be super effective in treating insulin resistance, starting from the root of the issue.
So awesome. It tastes like nothing, so just warn me when you put it in a cup so I don't drink it.
You got it, boo. Check out the link in the description to get 15% off your order.
The next reason was PCOS medications. And, a common prescription I'm sure everyone listening has heard of is metformin, which is meant to treat insulin sensitivity. I got to say it like that. Insulin sensitivity and reduce androgens. So the point of metformin, again, wow, sorry. I totally lost my track of thought and I repeated what I said. I'm just going to... So metformin is meant to treat insulin resistance and improve insulin sensitivity. But what this can cause is vitamin B12 deficiencies, and also birth control. Birth control can also cause vitamin deficiencies such as I believe B12 as well, and B6, and other ones as well. So just keep in mind, if you're taking any medications like metformin or birth control, another important reason to check your labs, your vitamin levels. And then if you're looking for alternatives to metformin, of course, check this with your doctor, but an inositol supplement is a great option.
Yes.
Our favorite is ovasitol. And the reason we like it so much is that there are actually research studies done on PCOS women comparing inositol to metformin, and they find that they both had the same results, except that metformin had 5 times the amount of side effects. Now, one of them is natural, and the other one is a prescription. And you can guess which one we would prefer, but of course, that's up to you and up to your doctor's discretion. So talk to your doctor and see if it's right for you. If you're interested, we have a 15% off code in our episode description.
Yes. And number 7, the 7th reason why women with PCOS feel fatigued is depression and anxiety. So this often is a side effect of taking birth control. It's often also a side effect of just having poor metabolism. When we have our metabolic dysfunction, when insulin resistance is happening, when stress hormones are dysregulated, it leads to symptoms like depression. It also leads to symptoms like really painful cystic acne and hair loss that can lead to depression and anxiety. And having low progesterone, which is pretty common with PCOS women, also feels like anxiety and depression. So all of it can really just create this awful environment for our mental health. And that's why we want everyone to be very proactive in managing PCOS. Don't wait until you want to get pregnant. Start now. Start understanding what's happening with insulin resistance now and how you can heal your metabolic dysfunction so you can lose weight and have more energy and just thrive, That's what we mean when we say thrive with PCOS.
Absolutely. Now, we're not going to stop there. We're not going to just tell you the causes of fatigue and just leave you there hanging. We're going to tell you how to treat it as well and actually get rid of this fatigue that's troubling you day to day. Before we do that, though, halftime break. Let's go to our Q&A, though, for this week's episode. These are some questions that we compiled from different social media channels that we have, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you want to follow us on those channels, just go there and search for PCOS weight loss and you will find us. We also have our Pinterest and blog as well. Speaking of the blog, sorry, not to rant. If you want to see this episode in a blog format, you can find it on our website at pcosweightloss.org. Just go there, go to the blog section, and you can find this exact episode in a blog format. Everything outlined there for you with links as well. Okay, cool. First episode for you, babe. I'm new to PCOS. Is it normal to just keep gaining weight even when you eat well? Question from Perfect Angel Girl.
Girl, yes. I mean, I thought I was eating well and I was eating, 1,200 calories. That's not a lot. That's not enough. Back in the day, I was eating normal, nothing greasy, nothing very caloric. It was just like salads and sandwiches and light things. And I was still gaining weight uncontrollably because I wasn't supporting metabolic hormones. I wasn't balancing my plate with protein, carb, fiber, and fat so that my blood sugar was stable, so that my metabolism could work properly. These things are the most important. It's not about how much or how little you're eating or what crazy diet you're on. It's about supporting the metabolic hormones and healing things like insulin resistance. Or else, yes, we just keep gaining and gaining weight, gaining more and more weight because our metabolism doesn't work. I don't know what happens, but all of a sudden, for me personally, it was like I was 18 and boom, I started gaining weight. My metabolism stopped working and it just snowballed out of control. I didn't know about metabolic hormones. I didn't know about insulin resistance. But if I did, then I would have realized there are so many things we can do. And we talk about them a lot on this podcast and in the Sisterhood, our membership program where women are learning about PCOS and how to manage it and regaining control of their weight and health. I mean, instead of just letting it spiral for years and being given birth control and ignoring it for more years. Absolutely. And then trying to get pregnant and struggling.
Okay, all right, we're kind of ranting. All right, our last question is from MS Weiss. What is the best protein powder for PCOS? So for this one, I actually highly recommend going to our one of our recent episodes. Just the other week, maybe like 3-4 episodes ago, it was how to pick the best protein powder for PCOS weight loss. So you can refer to that, but just to kind of give you some that you can look for, we love Garden of Life unflavored protein powder. It's vegan and it doesn't have any stevia, so it's really great. No sugar. Just keep in mind though, like it's unflavored, so it's better for smoothies, because if you just do it with water, it's gonna be like you're drinking like kind of like chalk. But it's a healthy sway, but it's completely up to you. You can get flavored stuff too, but just keep in mind the flavored stuff is fake, artificial. And then another one that we like is hemp protein powder from Amazon, great option. And then Philosophy protein powder is also great. So those would be our top 3, or just 3 in general. Okay, let's go back to the episode.
Oh, we have one more question I wanted to answer.
Oh, shoot.
Nancy Rana says,
my bad. I'm so sorry.
How do I reduce carbs? It's so hard for me to do so. And I really want to answer this because I know that it's really hard for women with PCOS who have insulin resistance to reduce their carb intake sometimes and make it consistent. I always talk about discovering your carb tolerance, and that does require like slightly reducing your carbs and understanding how many carbs your body can manage without feeling fatigued, without feeling like you need a nap, just the right amount of carbs to give you energy and keep your metabolism moving. That's discovering your carb tolerance. But also, if you're really struggling with carbs and you're really craving them, and just cravings like driving you crazy all the time, right? Supplementing comes in. Supplements are there to support your diet. They're not to like cure, PCOS. They're to support what we're eating and how we're eating. So if you want to cut out carbs a little bit, cut down on carbs. If you want to cut down on carbs, supplementing with Ovasitol, drinking that during your lunch, taking curcumin, omega-3, everything that's in our Metabolism Plus bundle in the morning to set yourself up for a day of good blood sugar control. These will supplement your body and improve your cell metabolism so that you're not craving carbs so much. And what I mean by that, without going into a huge tangent about supplements, is your cells, because we have PCOS, don't have that 40-1 ratio of myo and D-chiroinositol that we need in order to be better at insulin sensitivity. And we as women with PCOS, we struggle with having enough omega-3, and this contributes to insulin sensitivity. And that's why these supplements that we talk about when it comes to Metabolism Plus or Ovasitol, that's why we talk about these, because they're kind of filling those nutrient gaps that make it so hard to change our diet sometimes.
Great job, babe. I love your long answers, because it's just so in depth. So I'm serious. I'm not being sarcastic. It might sound sarcastic because
You've heard it so many times.
No, I'm just in a state of shock. About
the supplements.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten about it.
Did I just stress you out? Is that why you were holding your eyes?
Yeah, you had to bring up the supplements.
Oh.
The second time I said the supplements, I sat back in my chair. I was
what's with you? I'm trying to go on this excellent tangent. I'm talking about supplements in.
All right, in my frustration, I
ripped the cable out of.
Not like on purpose, like it got stuck on my leg and then the cable came out, so I had to.
Honestly, I'm going on a tangent about the supplements, and you lean back and close your eyes, and I'm like, "What's wrong, dude? Is it something I said?"
Sorry, I'm having a breakdown right now. So.
It's fine.
Okay, let's go into. Well, talking about everything you talked about, we're going to really get into the first tip of how to treat PCOS fatigue, which is maintaining a balanced PCOS diet. So Tyne talked about insulin resistance, carbs. So of course, like intuitively eating and keeping your insulin resistance in mind. Of course, going gluten dairy free to see if that helps with your symptoms of insulin resistance, inflammation, discovering your carb tolerance. So essentially, maintaining that balanced PCOS diet is going to be a great way to make sure your body has the proper, fuel it needs. It's just like a car. If a car has the gasoline it needs, it's going to have the ability to drive, right? So it's the same thing with energy. Sorry for that very simple comparison, but it's essentially, what it is. And the better gasoline you put in your car, like a sports car needs 91 gasoline.
Okay.
Whereas like let's say a Honda needs a 87. Not that a Honda's a bad car, but my point is the better food you put, it's the better gasoline you put in a car. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yes. Yes.
Italian has a Honda, so I don't think we're saying Honda's a bad thing.
When are you going to say going gluten and dairy free? Because that
I
is
did mention
91. Oh, you did. If you're trying to put 91 gas in your car, choose gluten and dairy free. Choosing foods that are less inflammatory will help with insulin resistance and will help your cells metabolize what we're eating properly. So reducing inflammation is huge.
Okay.
Next.
What's the second way to treat PCOS fatigue?
Maintain a good sleep schedule.
Yeah.
A lot of you might be struggling with falling asleep, and that's why we always suggest CBD if that's the case, or even melatonin. And we'll leave the link in the description for you. But making sure that you're prioritizing sleep is really important. Get those screens away from your eyes. I know the blue light glasses are helpful, but honestly, if you just put the screens away a couple hours before you go to bed, read a book, light a candle, don't have a lot of bright lights on, set the tone for good quality sleep and take your CBD, take your melatonin, whatever it takes, magnesium, and just get in that bed 8 hours so you can have some energy the next day.
Yeah. And just wanted to add on to that too, like when we talk about having good sleep, we're not just talking about having good 7-8 hours of sleep. We're talking about having a good sleep schedule as well. So that also means like, especially in the beginning when you're trying to have a good sleep schedule, it's like not sleeping throughout the day. So if you are tired, I know it's difficult and kind of counterintuitive, but don't sleep so that at night you can really sleep for a full night and not have like interruptions in your sleep cycle because you already slept in the day. That way you can kind of get your body used to more of a deeper sleep in the evenings. And of course, like Tyne said about the screens in the night. And I've even heard, like, I don't know if this is like 100% true. Please do your own research as well. But I heard the blue light glasses actually don't work, or they're not as effective as thought. Look into that, everyone who, if you're listening. I just heard this in a recent podcast, and I just wanted to just say it in case, anybody was interested in using it. Just look into it before you order it.
They certainly make me feel better. But
if it works for you, then that's great.
My sister has really intense yellow, it's blue light blocking. Her glasses are like yellow. Okay, It's crazy the way it changes the color of everything. And that probably is like really high quality. So maybe it just depends on where you get it from.
Yeah.
Next is to stay hydrated, because our body function is using fluid, right? We need water for our cells to work properly. We need to stay hydrated. It's all about our cell structure, our ability to fight inflammation, and our insulin sensitivity. And water has a lot to do with that. So yes, especially if you're working out, you want to make sure that you're drinking enough water. That will also help you feel energized and taken care of. Yeah.
And then next one is, and this is going to be the least popular tip right here, is to reduce your caffeine intake. How dare you, sir? No. Okay. So I should write a book on this, because I was able to reduce my caffeine intake and basically cut it out completely, and like, et cetera. And it was super hard. And now I recently introduced very small amounts back, and just kind of keep it in check. But basically, like, what does caffeine do? It gives you a boost of energy, right? But when you abuse it, it essentially creates like a reliability on your body. But something else that it does is that it pumps up your cortisol hormone. It's a natural side effect of caffeine, and it affects some people's stress hormone, your cortisol hormone, more than others. So for me, for example, when I would drink a cup of coffee, to be honest, I drank way too much. I would drink 2, 3, or 4 some days. I would start to feel like this jittery feeling in my heart, like as if I'm about to have a panic attack. I would have this cortisol, and then whenever a situation would come down, like let's say somebody asked me a question at work or something annoying happened, I would like get annoyed immediately without like any transition period. It was like 0 to 100, like immediately. So like that was the coffee, and I slowly cut it out, and it was even 1 cup of coffee would affect me. So I cut it out completely for about 6 months, maybe actually like 8 months, 10 months, something like that. And then while we were in Europe, because I don't know, like you're in Italian cafes and like this and that, I just started to just have like one espresso shot in the mornings. But then like anytime I felt that it was too much, I would like kind of stop for a minute. So that's like how I did it. So just a recommendation.
Yeah. I mean, the more you rely on coffee for energy, the worse your cortisol becomes.
Yeah.
because you're literally not producing enough energy for your body and you're relying on coffee. And instead of healing what's going on and what's causing the fatigue, you're pumping more cortisol from your adrenal glands.
Yeah.
And the more cortisol you pump, the more fatigued you're going to be later. And the more coffee you're going to need again.
Yeah.
It's this endless cycle.
And I know I don't have PCOS. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's the same
anyone
thing. But
with,
yeah, I was about to say like this cortisol hormone issue affects like everyone. So that's why I want to make a connection there.
Yeah, exactly. Next, going outside. This helps reduce stress and getting the rays of the sun in your eyes.
Why don't you just combine these two since
I'm
you just...
going to. Going outside on a walk around like 6 o'clock to watch the sunset is great to get you in the mood for bed, because literally the colors of the sun rays will help you produce more melatonin and get ready to sleep. So it's really important. And also just getting that vitamin D in, because it's great for your mental energy and can improve it. Studies show by almost 40%. And that's a lot.
Nice.
Reducing stress, it's just really important, because whether you're meditating, going to therapy, going on a walk, whatever it is, self-care has so much to do with our metabolism. You're reducing cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that causes weight gain in the midsection. The more stressed you are, the harder it is to reduce that belly fat. So speaking of which, exercise, like strenuous exercise, you may find that you're not seeing good results with it. You might be surprised that you still have belly fat because you're working out so hard and you're like, why would this happen? It's that cortisol that's raising from doing too much strenuous exercise. So
yes. And with that being said, you still want to be able to exercise regularly. So that means doing your slow weighted workouts. It's really important to incorporate the strength training workouts, because that's going to help give your body energy. Because the more lean muscle you have from these slow weighted workouts, the better your metabolism, the more calories you burn, and the more energy your body has as a result. So highly recommend exercising regularly with slow weighted workouts, and also doing walks. So you want to go on like 15-minute to 30-minute walks every day. It's great if you do it after morning, like after breakfast, after lunch. A really great way to kind of regulate your blood sugar levels after eating, especially. Something we're doing, me and Tallene, it's kind of on the down low. I don't know why, because we're experimenting. We got continuous glucose monitors. Mm-hmm. It's from Levels. And we're just kind of like testing it out to see how it affects us. And we're already seeing like these really cool effects when you eat and then go on a walk after, and how it like regulates your blood sugar. So we're going to share that on the gram, on TikTok soon. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, also you can still do regular forms of cardio like running as well. Just keep it to about 30 minutes.
I just want you to know, by the way, I was looking at the Levels app to see my blood sugar today. There was a severe spike in blood sugar at 11 p.m. when you told me that the supplements are delayed.
No. That was
like 11:30. You came upstairs.
Yeah.
And my blood sugar like went up to 120. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, what am I gonna do? Not tell you?
Okay, but then it went.
Hold on. Let me look at my blood sugar.
At like 11ish.
Rose at 9:30 a.m.
That's breakfast. It was like 11.
Oh yeah, that was I guess breakfast, right? Yeah. And then, wow, look how much you dropped. Jesus, Sirak. Okay. Get a hold of yourself, sir. And look, right now it's at 1:41 because I'm probably stressed out about talking about this.
No, because you ate. Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, we decided to go get breakfast from a restaurant because we went to Home Depot after the gym. Mm-hmm. So we're like, oh, Home Depot, let's go have breakfast somewhere now. And then, of course,
All right. So the next tip is to take your supplements. Like I mentioned earlier, taking supplements like Ovacetol to improve insulin sensitivity and cell metabolism.
You said it wrong.
Sensitivity.
One more time? Slow it down a little bit.
Sensitivity.
Okay, I'll give it like a B-.
And taking CoQ10, omega-3, a good multivitamin, and curcumin for antioxidants, for anti-inflammatory effects. Really important to support your metabolic hormones. That's why we called it Metabolism Plus. And with healing your metabolism, you are getting more energy.
Yes.
All right, babe.
And as you know, the orders are delayed until December 10. But if you want to put your order in and reserve yours, please feel free to do so. But yeah, December 10, orders are delayed until link in the description if you are interested.
All right.
Cool. On that note, so that is basically all the the reasons and the treatments for PCOS fatigue. Again, if you want to see the whole list on blog format, just go to pcosweightloss.org/blog. You can find this one as well as all the other blogs that we release weekly. Basically, like twice a week, we release blogs on our website. So if you're ever looking for information, just go there, and you'll find some great stuff.
Cool. Wins of the week.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's hit it.
Yes, ma'am. These are sisters who are managing their symptoms, losing weight, and
thriving with PCOS.
Yes.
Stephanie Macias in the sisterhood, she popped a little message to us in the private Facebook group.
It's NSV means non-scale victory.
Oh, okay. Non-scale victory. This is my second month where my period is on time, and it's actually a normal period. I started Ovasitol. I'm currently on 1150 milligrams. Oh, I started inositol. I'm currently on 1150 milligrams. I'm not sure I can go up any higher. However, I had to lower my metformin. Huge win for me. I noticed it was too high when I almost passed out in the shower. Once it was lowered from 2,000 to 1,500 to 1,000, I saw a huge difference in my energy. I'm no longer hypoglycemic. Lastly, facial hair is significantly lower now. I drink 20 ounces of spearmint tea daily mixed with inositol. The only time I notice an increase in hair is if I eat a ton of sugar and processed foods. Love this lifestyle for me. I'm so proud of you, Stephanie. Look at you managing your blood sugar, getting your energy under control, and drinking spearmint tea.
Yeah, that facial hair going significantly lower. She said, that's amazing. Great job, Stephanie.
Woo. Next.
All right.
Tikwanya Jones.
This one is from Instagram. And she says, I haven't taken Metabolism Plus yet, but I do workouts 3 times a week in yoga, and all of this has changed my life. I learned my carb tolerance and went 95% dairy and gluten-free because I do allow myself on occasion to have some of my old faves, of course. And she says, it's gotten me 40 pounds down this year.
Yes.
I felt so seen following your page. Amazing.
I'm so proud of you. I love hearing when people are thriving with PCOS and losing weight, because I know how hard it is to not be able to lose weight, even though you think, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing all the things.
Yeah.
But once you're really supporting your metabolism, you're doing the right workouts, you're lifting weights, you're removing inflammatory foods like gluten and dairy, that's when you start seeing the results and just losing weight naturally. Like Danielle Warner here.
Yeah, our next one.
From the sisterhood, she sent us a picture a little before and after here. 35 pounds down in 5 months. That's like 8 pounds a month.
Amazing.
So thankful I found the sisterhood. Well, we're thankful for having you.
Yeah.
That's about 2 pounds per week, which is a healthy rate to lose weight.
Yeah.
Especially with PCOS.
I mean, she looks amazing in both pictures, but we're just so happy that she's able to thrive with PCOS and just, be able to reverse her symptoms and just feel better. So it's just amazing.
You can tell from her glow.
Yeah, amazing for Danielle. So great job.
Amazing. So sisters, for anyone who's listening, if you want to learn more about some of the things we talked about in this episode and really just deep dive into discovering your carb tolerance, into managing your insulin resistance, going gluten and dairy free, you can always join us in the sisterhood, like these sisters that we just read their testimonies of, and learn all of these things. We have fun and informative videos that really deep dive, and also a workbook and just everything you could possibly need to really, really learn what is going on with your metabolism and how to improve it and have more energy.
Yes, absolutely. And if you do want Metabolism Plus, again, we're sorry about the delay. December 10 is the estimated ship date, and
see, that's going gray over here.
I might finally get gray hairs. I guess.
Wow.
I might finally get it. Is this it? Is this what causes it?
Oh my God.
Is it curcumin? Anyway, well, sisters, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, we would really appreciate it if you left us a review and subscribed for the next episode. Have a great week. We love you, and we will see you next episode.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come check out the Sisterhood. It's my monthly membership site where sisters just like you are learning how to move through the stages of PCOS. From stage 1, cold and alone at the doctor's office, to stage 5, nailing the PCOS lifestyle, gluten and dairy free. Get ready to finally feel in control of your body again.